Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. Ever wondered why so much of America is empty? Today, we're diving into the 9 least populated states to uncover the reasons behind their sparse populations. From breathtaking landscapes to tough living conditions, let's explore the hidden stories of these states. All right, let's get on with the show. First up, Wyoming, the least populated state in the USA. If you've ever dreamed of a place where the horizon seems to stretch on forever, where the sky feels impossibly vast and the land is open as far as the eye can see, then Wyoming is probably what you're picturing. With just over 500,000 residents spread across nearly 100,000 square miles, it's a state where you can drive for hours and barely see another soul. In fact, there are more pronghorn antelope than people here, and the sense of solitude is almost legendary. Wyoming is world famous for its breathtaking natural wonders. Yellowstone National Park, with its geysers, hot springs, and roaming bison, draws millions of visitors from around the globe every year. Grand Teton National Park, with its jagged peaks and crystal clear lakes, is a paradise for hikers, climbers, and photographers. But beyond these iconic parks, much of Wyoming is made up of rolling rangeland, sagebrush plains, and rugged mountains. The scenery is dramatic, wild, and often untouched, a true testament to the untamed spirit of the American West. With so much open land, it's no surprise that cattle ranching is a way of life here. In fact, cows outnumber people by more than 2 to 1. Ranches stretch for miles, and it's not uncommon to see herds of cattle grazing peacefully under the endless sky. The ranching tradition runs deep, shaping the culture and economy of the state. Life here moves at a slower pace, and neighbors might be miles apart, but there's a strong sense of community among those who call Wyoming home. Wyoming's economy is built on 3 main pillars: agriculture, mining, and tourism. The state is rich in natural resources, from coal and natural gas to trona and uranium. Mining towns dot the landscape, and the energy industry provides many of the jobs that keep small communities alive. Agriculture, especially cattle and sheep ranching, remains a backbone of rural life. And of course, tourism brings a steady stream of visitors eager to experience the state's wild beauty. But none of these industries require a huge workforce, which helps explain why the population remains so low. Then there's the weather. Winters in Wyoming are not for the faint of heart. Blizzards can sweep across the plains with little warning, dumping feet of snow and driving temperatures well below zero. The wind howls across the open land, and icy roads can make travel treacherous. Locals joke that you can experience all 4 seasons in a single day, and it's not far from the truth. Surviving a Wyoming winter takes grit, determination, and a good pair of snow boots. It's a place where nature still calls the shots, and the elements demand respect. The vast distances between towns, the limited job market, and the harsh climate all combine to keep Wyoming's population low. Many communities are small, with just a few hundred residents, and the nearest neighbor might be miles away. For some, the isolation is a challenge, but for others, it's a blessing. A chance to live life on their own terms, surrounded by nature and far from the hustle and bustle of city life. Wyoming isn't for everyone, but for those who crave space and solitude, it's a dream come true. For adventurers, artists, and anyone who finds peace in the quiet, Wyoming offers a kind of freedom that's hard to find anywhere else. Whether you're hiking through wildflower meadows, camping under a sky ablaze with stars, or simply enjoying the silence of a wide-open prairie, there's a sense of possibility here that's as big as the landscape itself. Life moves at a slower pace, and the worries of the outside world seem to fade away beneath the endless sky. That's big sky country for you. A place where the land is vast, the people are few, and the sense of freedom is as boundless as the horizon. Next, Vermont, the Green Mountain State. Famous for small towns, forests, and maple syrup, Vermont's charm hides some real challenges. The economy relies on small businesses, agriculture, and tourism, but high-paying jobs are scarce and housing isn't cheap. Add in long, cold winters, and it's clear why Vermont's population stays steady. Still, for those seeking peace, community, and stunning fall colors, Vermont is a dream. Now we're heading way up north to Alaska, the last frontier. Twice the size of Texas, Alaska is wild, remote, and extreme. Its economy, oil, fishing, tourism, can be volatile, and the cost of living is sky-high since everything must be shipped in. Add months of darkness and bone-chilling cold, and you've got a tough place to call home. That's why Alaska remains the least densely populated state. But for adventurers, there's nowhere else like it. Next up, North Dakota. Endless prairies, big skies, and peace and quiet define this state. The economy is all about agriculture, especially wheat, but that doesn't create many jobs for young people. Winters are fierce, blizzards, bitter cold, and wind chills that'll make you question your life choices. With limited opportunities and a tough climate, North Dakota's population stays low. But for those who love simplicity and small-town warmth, it's a special place. Now South Dakota, home to Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills, and the otherworldly Badlands. Agriculture, tourism, and energy drive the economy, but high-paying jobs are rare. The weather swings from scorching summers to freezing winters, making life unpredictable. With limited opportunities and a slower pace, South Dakota's population remains small, but if you crave wide-open spaces and a strong sense of community, it's a hidden gem. There's more to South Dakota than meets the eye. Let's visit Delaware, the first state. Small in size, big in history, but most people live along the I-95 corridor. Outside the cities, it's mostly rural, farmland, forests, and beaches. Delaware's economy is diverse, but housing costs can be high. With a small area and population clustered in cities, Delaware stays small compared to its neighbors. Still, it offers a unique blend of history, nature, and opportunity. We're heading back out west, to a place that's earned its nickname for a reason, Montana, famously known as Big Sky Country. Here, the horizon seems to stretch on forever, and the sky feels impossibly vast, painted with ever-changing clouds and brilliant sunsets. It's a land that inspires awe, where the sheer scale of nature makes you feel both small and incredibly alive. Montana's landscape is a breathtaking tapestry of towering snow-capped mountains, crystal-clear lakes that mirror the sky, and endless prairies that roll out like a green and gold carpet. Glacier National Park, with its rugged peaks and pristine wilderness, is just one of the state's many natural wonders. Whether you're gazing across a tranquil lake at sunrise or watching the wind ripple through the tall prairie grass, Montana's beauty is both wild and serene. But for all its grandeur, Montana is one of the most sparsely populated states in the country. The state is massive, over 147,000 square miles. But with just over 1 million residents, you can drive for hours along empty highways, passing only the occasional car or distant farmhouse. The sense of solitude is profound. It's not unusual to travel miles without seeing another soul, making Montana a place where you can truly disconnect from the bustle of modern life. The economy here is shaped by the land. Agriculture is a way of life. Wheat fields stretch to the horizon, and cattle graze on open range. Tourism brings visitors eager to hike, fish, and explore, while energy production, from oil to wind, powers local communities. Yet jobs can be seasonal or unpredictable, and as more people discover Montana's charm, the cost of living has started to climb, making it harder for some locals to stay. Winters in Montana are not for the faint of heart. Snow can blanket the land for months, and blizzards can turn roads into whiteouts in minutes. Sub-zero temperatures and biting winds are a fact of life, testing the endurance of everyone who calls this place home. Ranchers and townsfolk alike must be resilient, relying on community and grit to get through the long, cold season. With such vast distances between towns and limited economic opportunities, Montana's population remains low. Many communities are small and close-knit, surrounded by miles of open space. Life here moves at a slower pace, shaped by the rhythms of nature and the challenges of rural living. For some, the isolation is a drawback, but for others, it's a source of peace and freedom. Yet for those who crave adventure and are drawn to the untamed beauty of the wild, Montana is nothing short of paradise. Whether you're hiking through alpine meadows, casting a line in a rushing river, or simply soaking in the silence beneath a sky full of stars, Big Sky Country offers a sense of wonder and possibility that's hard to find anywhere else. Now, Rhode Island, the smallest state but packed with charm and coastline. It's actually the second most densely populated state, but overall numbers are low due to its tiny size. The economy is diverse, but housing is pricey and winters can be rough. For those who love the water and vibrant culture, Rhode Island is a coastal treasure. Wrapping up our journey in New Hampshire, the Granite State, a place where the landscape is as bold as the people who call it home. Here, the mountains rise sharply against the sky, Forests stretch for miles and the air feels crisp and invigorating no matter the season. New Hampshire is a state that wears its identity proudly, from its iconic motto to its fiercely independent residents. Known for its rugged natural beauty, charming small towns, and a spirit of independence that runs deep, New Hampshire is quintessential New England. Stroll down a main street lined with family-owned shops or cross a covered bridge that stood for centuries, and you'll feel the history and pride woven into daily life. In autumn, the state transforms into a tapestry of fiery reds and golds, drawing visitors from all over to witness the spectacle. Most of New Hampshire's population is clustered in the southern part of the state, close to the Massachusetts border where cities and suburbs offer convenience and opportunity. But venture north, and you'll find vast stretches of rural land, endless forests, pristine lakes, and the majestic White Mountains, a haven for hikers, skiers, and anyone seeking a little solitude in nature. The state's economy is robust, with low unemployment and a reputation for innovation and entrepreneurship. However, this prosperity comes at a price. Housing costs have soared in recent years, making it tough for newcomers and young families to settle down. And then there's the winter. Long, cold, and often relentless, with snowstorms that can blanket towns overnight and temperatures that dip well below freezing. With most people living in the south and the rest of the state remaining largely rural, New Hampshire's population numbers stay modest compared to its neighbors. The weather is famously unpredictable. One day you're basking in sunshine, the next you're shoveling out from a surprise snowstorm. It's all part of the adventure of living here, and residents wouldn't have it any other way. But for those who value a high quality of life, strong community ties, and the chance to truly connect with nature, New Hampshire is hard to beat. Whether it's gathering at a local festival, hiking with friends, or simply chatting with neighbors on a crisp autumn evening, life here is about enjoying the simple pleasures and supporting one another. So, if you're ready to embrace the cold, the beauty, and the independent spirit, New Hampshire just might be the place for you. After all, as the locals say, live free or freeze trying, right? That's our journey through America's least populated states. We've seen stunning landscapes and met resilient people living life on their own terms. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories. Until next time.